You couldn't have had this evening without me. That's for sure. এটা তো সত্যি কথা। আমি সত্যি আজকে গর্বিত টু হিয়ার দাদা সিং বেগ বাগানের ছেলে। সত্যি, that is so, people forget, people forget from where this huge man has really come, yeah, from these beginnings. But I know him from a little bit ahead of that. That is Queen's Mansion এর ছেলে, Park Street এর ছেলে, আমার ছেলে। Today, Bess is not here, and neither is his foster father, Jani. That's my husband. But we're all here to share and all the time bask in the glory of Leander.
বেঙ্গল টেনিস অ্যাসোসিয়েশন ও ডিকেএসের যৌথ উদ্যোগে টেনিস কিংবদন্তি লিয়েন্ডার পেজকে গ্র্যান্ড স্ল্যাম স্যালুট প্রদান করা হলো। এই অনুষ্ঠানের নামই ছিল এ গ্র্যান্ড স্ল্যাম স্যালুট টু দ্য লেজেন্ড। এদিন জানা যায় বেঙ্গল টেনিস অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের প্রেসিডেন্ট পদে আসতে চলেছেন লিয়েন্ডার পেজ। বর্তমান প্রেসিডেন্ট হিরণময় চট্টোপাধ্যায়ের দুবারের টার্ম শেষ হচ্ছে। আগামী নভেম্বরে বিটিএর বার্ষিক সাধারণ সভা। যদি প্রেসিডেন্ট পদে একাধিক মনোনয়ন জমা পড়ে তাহলে নির্বাচনে জিতে আসতে হবে লিয়েন্ডারকে, তবে তারই প্রেসিডেন্ট হওয়ার সম্ভাবনাই বেশি।
For the LP 2.0, that's the journey that you're embarking in. So I just like to start with Davis Cup. I mean, with you around, we won't let this opportunity go, because immediately one hard back to history, where you came into discussion, and both this Switzerland team was not exactly, they would have a Henri Lacombe. But how do you see this victory? I mean, we have been kind of struggling to get back into the World Tour qualifiers.
I'm really proud of our Indian Davis Cup team that went to Europe and beat Switzerland in Switzerland. To me, that's to prove that Indians can be champions in any part of the globe has always been something that I strive for. I'm really proud of the way that Sumit and the boys did well in their singles matches. For Davis Cup is a team effort, and in that I believe it had been over 30 years from Frejus to when we beat Ramesh Krishnan and Uncle Naresh, and all of us beat the French with Henri Lacombe and Arnaud Butch and Rudolf Gilbert, Fabrice Santoro. We beat them in the south of France, and that took some doing. So I'm really proud of our boys to go to Switzerland and have a win and qualify, to the next round.
This is quite a step that you have taken. You have any? Have you mapped it out for yourself? What are the first things that you think you should do?
The first things is to take it up with respect, to take it up with a sense of responsibility, and to be a student of administration in school. When I switched from football to tennis, I became a student of tennis. When in every obstacle in life came at me, I became a student of that. To me, the first thing that I am doing is to bow my head in gratitude to my predecessors, but also to learn from them as to what their ambitions were. How from 2003, when they moved from Calcutta South Club to Salt Lake, and I can't divulge the details that Shona Chatterjee and Papuda have been guiding me so far, and all the homework that we've been doing, whether it's all the financial homework, whether it's all the rules and bylaws of the Bengal Tennis Association, which then tie into the rules and bylaws of Indian sport. And as we know all too recently, that the sports bill was passed, and that took quite some doing. So hence, for me, the first thing is that to look at what Shona Chatterjee and his team have done so beautifully well at the Bengal Tennis Association. There's a standalone academy, there's a standalone government property that they've got, a gym and tennis courts and boardrooms and function rooms, and it sits right in the heart of Salt Lake. And we are very grateful to the Bengal Sports Ministry for giving us this property. But at the same time, how well these young men have run the academy there. Today we sit in an institution at DKS, which is also done by Shona Chetty, and it's done in such a beautiful manner. So I think to answer your question, what are the first things I'm doing is to understand and absorb what this great man has done. And as I absorb that and learn that, we're not letting him go anywhere. He's going to be there still in the forefront, guiding us with his wisdom, with his demeanor, his human equity, to keep moving forward. You see, the responsibility of taking a chair is large. First of all, I've been blessed that I don't need a seat to inspire the country. But when Sonada came to me and explained to me on how it was a responsibility for me to take that seat and to do greater good and to follow in his footsteps and carry out his dreams and the dreams of the entire state and then the nation, I do see merit in it. I'm going to have a lot of fingers pointed at me about whether an athlete can govern, or whether an athlete can look at bylaws, or whether an athlete can run an association. But I've always let my racket do the talking, so I would rather sit here humbly and say thank you in gratitude, sit here as a student to learn from my mentors, my North Stars. And I meant every bit of this. I wouldn't be who I am today without the Bengal Tennis Association, without West Bengal sport, and without certain people like Naresh Kumar, Dr. Vespace, Shona Chatterjee. I wouldn't be who I am, Anwar Ali. These people shaped me, so to learn from them and be the young blood to carry out in physical effort their brains, and maybe add a few of mine, I think is a great journey ahead, and I'm very grateful for this. Some big shoes that I'm stepping into, really.
There is a question. We have seen before a lot of countries came there. It was the first sports person that you want to take come as a president of India. After that, in AI, that is election, and now got the state body, the state body would use the training which Bengal not been yet, but as is going to be happening. Now, let me ask you one thing: that do you think that the sports bodies dependency on the political figures, not in tennis, but in terms of cricket, in terms of football, in terms of even hockey, the political figure depending on the thing, it's moving towards the sports personality, and it will help Indian sports to go forward?
If I understand your question about inclusivity of legal people doing legality, finance people doing finance, political people doing politics, and athletes coming into sports administration, if that's your question, I think you found the formula. You found the formula for success. At the BTA, I can say very confidently, after I've been studying the books for months now, and Shonada and the entire BTA board have been educating me so beautifully about what they have done from 2003 till today. It's over 2.5 decades. Now, my responsibility is to take this young man's dreams and enhance it. It's not something great new that's going to come in. It's going to be something that they have been striving for and working for. And I'm going to continue that. So today I don't want to speak much about what I'm going to do, how am I going to do it, where it's going, what it's going. But I guarantee you one thing, it's mapped out. And that map is there. And as life and opportunity comes, you got to keep moving with it.
Leander says, why there is no other that caliber in, even you can say in Kolkata and even in international circuit that represents from India. Why you cannot get the caliber there like after UK?
I think that's a bit of an unfair statement. I think when you look at Mahesh Bhupati, he's won 12 Grand Slams. When you look at Rohan Bopanna, he's won Grand Slams. When you look at Sania Mirza, she's won Grand Slams. And also, I'm very excited about the young little Maya who's come around. Suresh Dakineshwar, who just played Davis Cup in Switzerland. I think there is some great talent out there. Also, if I can come back to the relevant question, focusing on the grassroots of India is where I believe most of the talent lies. I think most of the talent in India does not get opportunity to showcase itself in any walk of life. And I feel it's like people like us, Sachin, Dhoni, Virat, myself, who have a great position to learn from the greats of administration. To be able to go out into the rural areas, taking sports science to recognize talent, to test talent, and then bring them into our Bengal Tennis Association academies, to bring them into our All India Tennis academies, to bring them into our Olympic academies, to nurture their talent. In that's all I'm going to say, is that I've got a huge responsibility to live up to Shonada again. Since I was a young boy, I always wanted to do my father proud. Always wanted to do my second father proud. In that, once again now, at 52, there'll be people pointing fingers at me, there'll be people saying, wow, he's great, he's awesome. Some people say, he's doing nothing. But let the fruits of that be shown. Because if I know that his eyes look at me and he's satisfied, then I'm doing something right.
As an administrator, ঋষি মোদির কথা বলেন, কিন্তু আমি তার সঙ্গে কখনো আমার সাক্ষাৎ হয়নি, দূর থেকেই তাকে দেখেছি। কিন্তু আমার মনে হয় কলকাতায় একটা ঋষি মোদি আছেন, যিনি তার দক্ষতায় একটা ক্লাবকে কোথায় নিয়ে যেতে পারেন সেটা কিন্তু আমাদের সোনাদা, সকলের আদরের সোনাদা, সেটা প্রমাণ করেছে। আজকে যে মানুষটাকে নিয়ে আজকে আমাদের এত কিছু, তার সম্বর্ধনা, সকলের ভালোবাসা উজাড় করে তিনি পাচ্ছেন। তার কারণ তিনি সবার আগে ভারতবর্ষের জাতীয় পতাকাকে সবার আগে উড্ডীন করেছেন, ভারতবর্ষের তেরঙ্গা পতাকা। লিয়েন্ডার পেজ শুধু 20টা গ্র্যান্ড স্ল্যাম নয়, 7টা অলিম্পিক নয়, ডেভিস কাপেও ভারতবর্ষের তেরঙ্গা তিনি উড়িয়েছিলেন। আমি লিয়েন্ডারের খেলা দেখি অনেক সময় থেকেই, এবং ওর সঙ্গে আমার ব্যক্তিগত পরিচয় এবং ওর পরিবারের সঙ্গে, বাবার সঙ্গে আমার খুব ব্যক্তিগত সম্পর্ক ছিল। আমার সব থেকে ভালো লাগে লিয়েন্ডার অস্ট্রেলিয়ান ওপেন খেলুক, ফ্রেঞ্চ ওপেন খেলুক, উইম্বলডন খেলুক, কিন্তু লিয়েন্ডার যখন ডেভিস কাপ খেলতো, তখন ডিফারেন্ট লিয়েন্ডারকে পেতাম, যাতে মনে হচ্ছে ভারতবর্ষকে স্বাধীন করার জন্য সেনারা যেভাবে জীবন দিয়ে লড়াই করতেন, ডেভিস কাপে দেখেছি জীবন দিয়ে লড়াই করে ভারতবর্ষের পতাকাকে উড্ডীন করতে।
নক্ষত্র লিয়েন্ডার পেজের এই সম্বর্ধনা অনুষ্ঠানে যারা এসেছেন তাদের সকলকে স্বাগত। আমরা সবাই জানি যে লিয়েন্ডার মাইকেল মধুসূদন দত্তের বংশের তার প্রপিতামহ। মাইকেল নিজেই ছিলেন একজন ব্যতিক্রমী মানুষ। মাইকেল যখন সবাই একদিকে স্রোতের দিকে গা ভাসায়, মাইকেল তার বিপরীতে। আমরা যখন রাম রাম করছি, তখন মাইকেল মেঘনাথ বধ গান লিখে বলছেন, রাবণ শ্বশুর মম মেঘনাথ তব স্বামী, আমি কি ডরাই কবু ভিখারি রাঘবে। এ কথা বলার স্পর্ধা দেখিয়েছিলেন মাইকেল মধুসূদন। তারই বংশের লিয়েন্ডার যে ব্যতিক্রমী হবে, এই নিয়ে কোনো সন্দেহ নেই। সেই ব্যতিক্রমী লিয়েন্ডার পেজ কটা পদক জিতেছেন নিশ্চয়ই বড়, কিন্তু আমার কাছে লিয়েন্ডার পেজ আত্মবিশ্বাসের নাম, যে আত্মবিশ্বাস ভারতবর্ষকে জাগ্রত করতে হবে। আমার কাছে লিয়েন্ডার পেজ শুধু একজন ক্রীড়া জগতের নক্ষত্র নন, আমার কাছে লিয়েন্ডার পেজ জাতীয়তাবাদের প্রতীক, যিনি বিশ্বের দরবারে ভারতবর্ষের পতাকাকে বারবার উজ্জ্বল করেছেন।